2, 1E.
We're live.
Marquita, you love me. Digital radio sound art expression, DJ Journey Marquita.
What's up?
Chris.
Ashley.
What's going on? So we're here today. We're coming off a very techie thing here. So let's wind down a bit. Let's get back to the sound and art and expression. So we have a special guest today. We have oh man, he's an artist.
Brandon Eugenio is in the building. We know what I'm saying.
No.
Here we are.
I was about to bring it in, but
I thought maybe you forgot my name.
introduction. No, not at all.
You're receiving your pause.
We just had a pause.
Yeah, I looked at you. You looked at me. This is great.
We're here.
Brandon Eugene Owens. Let's give it up for Brandon.
Thank you.
Hi, Brandon.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
So this is good, man. You use all three of your names. This is the real deal.
You
This
know,
is
my mom gave them to me.
man.
You know, I respect my mother.
Yeah, you have a good strong name.
You don't even know
Thank
what
you.
that speaks to me.
That's great.
I
Nobody
mean,
has ever
I
said
have
that.
I have two middle names. I don't
Okay,
There you go.
Ashley.
Three
first
middle
of
names
all,
too.
it's Ashley Alicia Nicole Johnson.
Y'all, she just wants y'all to know who she is. Look her up.
No,
Your
but
last
it's not. But
four
it's not
digits
about
of
me.
your
It's
social,
about
or what?
Brandon
Yes.
on here.
So Brandon, thanks for coming to the show. You have a EP that's dropping, but we're gonna rewind back, man, because we got to know where you're from because we have a lot of listeners that's out there. So
That's
what are you
what's up.
representing?
I am originally from Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, LBC, in the
LBC.
building.
I
Wow.
like Cali people
Pedigree.
here
Cali
tonight.
people
Everybody's
for
coming
sure.
from Cali.
For sure.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Wow, that's what's up, man. All right, so there's different parts of the beach.
Oh yes,
Which-
I like that you
what-
know that.
Yes.
People are like, oh, it's Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg, probably, right?
Right.
Or Sublime, and it's a little bit more correctly for me, a little bit Sublime based on
Gotcha.
my history. But go ahead.
Cool. So what do you call that? North, south?
I would say I'm from Northside Long Beach for sure.
North side Long
But
Beach.
even
Stuff.
within that, there's still some subdivisions of what is and what is
Yeah.
different. Long Beach can change from block to block.
See, that's what people
Nah,
don't
that's
know.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
that's what
noticed
people
that.
don't know.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of
That's
different
what's up.
people. Melting pot for sure.
So being from Long Beach, was that the influence of the music that you've been crafting? And
I would
putting
say that
together?
was heavily, influential in the music just because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest, or I should say was or is. I'm not sure how you would want to put that, but I'm the youngest of three brothers.
Three brothers.
And my parents were both transplants from different parts of the country to Long Beach, and then
Okay.
they had a family. So it was just something that I grew up with, the music and their music.
Yeah.
And then my brothers being older than me brought in what they were learning at the time.
Yeah. So
what
you
they
come
were
from a
into.
musical family, if you will.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. My parents
Okay.
didn't play, but barbecues and all that was Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
And,
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Isley
Donnie
Brothers.
Hathaway.
Ooh,
nonstop.
okay.
Real stuff.
Right.
Okay,
Real
that's
stuff.
real.
Yeah.
Real stuff. Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Everything that Snoop Dogg sampled or Dr.
Exactly,
Dre.
yes,
as-
right.
if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Real music. That's what's up, man.
I'm gonna play me some Isley Brothers
You ready?
after I leave here with your
Mhm.
music. Yeah, mix it up, make me a playlist.
I love it.
So how long have you been working in music? When did you get the music bug, if you will?
I would say it was when I was a kid. Like I said, my brothers all got into music.
Yeah.
Did their thing. Older brother, it's like how
Yeah.
families work.
So did you try something different?
I
And it's
started
like,
with clarinet.
Okay.
I play clarinet.
clarinet.
A little classical music. I get
Okay.
that.
Mm.
But no, it started
Probably
there,
count.
and then it worked its way and morphed its way into more like sort of modern music. My brothers
Mhm.
started one on clarinet, my middle brother, the other one on tuba and trombone, and then he made his way to keyboards. The other one made his way to guitar. I went to guitar, and then I was like, let me deal with something a little different. Went to the bass, and that's what I stuck with. That's what
Nice.
got me into being, I would say, a quote unquote professional musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
how old were you when you discovered the bass?
When I discovered it,
Yeah, like
I was
not
like-
discovered, but like you made it
like 8th grade,
Oh,
like right before high school.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Good question.
Usually that's when it happens, like when you're playing this.
like in middle
It
school.
happened with me.
And then did it happen like when you guys were in school with me teaching, like you played like with a school band and then
Yeah, I
you
was
found a
in-
love for it?
I was in all
You're
of
like,
that.
wait a minute, I like
Yeah,
this.
I was in all of that so much to the point that by the time I was able to get my license when I turned 16, I was
Mhm.
like, okay, I love you, Long Beach, but I'm going to go to LA. And I went to a high school in Los Angeles at Cal State LA called the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. And that's where I
Yeah.
finished at Loxa. That's where
Loxa, yeah,
I'm a Loxa
one of my
graduate,
schools.
yes. So I would make that 45-minute drive or sometimes longer on that 710 from Long Beach to East LA every day, 5 days a week.
Was it worth it?
Oh, it was so worth
It's
it.
so worth
So
it,
worth it.
right?
It's literally
Yeah.
5 minutes or 4.5
Yeah,
minutes
it's right
from
by
my
his
house.
house,
Yeah,
yeah.
on Marengo.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got to get up in there. They would
Suda
love you.
Terrace and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ah.
No.
Actually, I lived on University Hills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had an
Okay.
apartment, little tiny
Wow.
1 bedroom,
Yeah.
1 kitchen.
The life of an artist.
Slash
Makes
kitchen,
sense.
restroom, everything
Look
was all
at the
put into
encyclopedia.
it.
He waiting for the
Yeah.
question.
That's dope. So when you got to that school, I mean, what changed for you?
I think it just opened up my mind because it was like, my parents I had definitely a very eclectic upbringing,
Mhm.
but going to that school, it was like all these kids that were sort of coming from all parts of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the West Side, kids with money that just wanted to be weird, and kids from South Central that wanted to be weird, but
Straight
couldn't
up.
be weird where they were. And we all got together and we were just weird and creative.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Was there some sort of qualifications that you needed to actually
I think they
transfers from district to district?
They have
Because
auditions.
they have auditions and stuff like that. It was
so
a
you
very
had to
small,
be about the arts.
very small school. So my
Yeah.
graduating class was like maybe 60 people or something like that.
Wow.
So it's a really small school. So they are selective,
Mm-hmm.
but within that ability of being selective, they somehow like put together this melting pot of. They're very good at what they do.
They are.
Of
So-
people that are different, kids that are different, but they
Yeah.
can come together from these different upbringings and just come together and make art, which I think that's what
Yeah.
art is anyways,
Awesome. So did any famous kids come from that school?
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
Could you name a few?
Man, okay, wow, okay. You may not know all of them. Josh Groban went to my school.
Yeah.
Anthony Anderson,
Mhm.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me about this guy recently. I think he just released an EP called, was it Better Days? Brandon.
Yes,
Brandon
yes.
Eugene.
Working,
Eugene.
Brandon.
You know Brandon Eugene Owens?
Yeah, Brandon, if you
Yeah,
don't mind,
so,
what year did you graduate, if you don't mind
Back in the
sharing?
day.
Okay, yeah, that's when you
Day
answer
day.
like
Back in
that.
the day.
Yeah.
Long enough that I don't want to
Oh my God, I would
say.
love to have met you. Oh
Did you
my
go
God,
there?
you would have been a prize.
Wait.
No, I work with that. I teach.
Oh,
So I go into like different schools and
Got you.
contract. Yes.
All right,
oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's Professor Marquito.
Yes,
You
yes.
should get her
no
number.
idea. Excuse me.
you
Yes,
have
I would
any
have loved,
questions
like, you
about-
totally would have
Right.
been like my little
I
sweetheart
was in it.
student.
I was in it.
Yeah.
You single?
Who was
Okay.
that?
Oh my God.
What?
Journey's
You said
everything about
sweetheart
love.
student.
I got
I don't
it.
know.
Okay, I got to
Oh,
throw
my
this in. Brandon.
My superpower is
Yes, because
matchmaking.
I love those
Sorry.
eyes, Brandon.
Yes.
I was telling Nick, I was telling the crew, Ash, Journey, I was just looking, when I was reading your bio, it was
Mhm.
so intriguing. And I noticed that a lot of the titles of your songs like coincided, like you have Better Days,
Right.
then you had Troubles,
hmm
and a lot of the songs, like, I'm like, okay, this dude is deep. Like, whenever you create like that, like, you have experience.
This is this particular record
Okay.
or EP, I should say, which is going to be part of it's kind of like a part of something that's coming out next
Yes,
year. But
yes.
this is the first part of it. The first creation of it is very specifically about a lot of loss. And I've, not to discount what other people have gone through, but I have experienced quite a bit of loss.
Yeah.
I lost my father, and then not shortly after that, but about 4 years after that, both of my brothers passed away 5 months apart from each other very prematurely, both before they were 40.
Okay.
Wow.
And that has to do with it. It has to do with, that's why the cover of the picture is me as a kid in a little members only jacket, because I think of that as being better days. But through the grief and through the process of writing these songs and writing the record, at the same time I had a son, Atticus, and that brought me to like, okay, well, you have that, you've experienced that, and you are grieving, when you need to acknowledge that, into a point of like, okay, where are you going now? Because better days are not just your past, but they're your future.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Brandon,
Wow.
I just have
Beautiful.
to say, I think that this was such an important question as it relates to getting your material out there so that more people can hear about it. Because for me, I experienced loss this year. My whole family knows. January 9th, the top of the year, I lost my brother suddenly. Okay, he was my best friend. Then 3 months later, one day after her birthday on March 17th, I lost my mom suddenly. Okay, literally, I came here the night that I lost my mom so that I can kind of remain in this frequency of denial, because it took my breath away, and I was like, I can't handle this. But in between that, on February 14th, one of my students, I found out the first day I went back to work to honor my brother, okay, on February 14th, the day of love,
Right.
I found out that one of my prior students committed suicide.
Man.
So, sweetheart, this album, this music that you have, oh, it's so relevant. It's so needed. Like, I'm literally going to put it out with everybody that's tied to like blogs and that are going through grief and stuff like that. Like, you didn't even know this. Vic,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so real. And
But
when you talk about the
related.
birthdays, I mean, that happened to my father died literally on my birthday.
Oh,
My
wow.
older brother died. My middle brother died the day after his birthday. And my oldest brother died on my mom's birthday.
We need you.
Yeah. So I
Thank
don't know
you
what
for
that all means. I
surviving.
don't know. Don't want to be like, oh, that's great.
No,
I
I
just
own
want to
it.
say it's crazy and it,
powerful.
is powerful and it is as much hurt and grief that's in there. It's like you have to figure out a way to grow
Absolutely.
and to appreciate and to learn.
And to honor them
I
gotta
as well.
say,
And
Say that again, Ashley.
I think it's
And to
like you want
honor
to honor it, and it's a way to get out your emotions and your feelings
For sure.
Mhm.
on that one, because like your
100%.
EP is going to be touching a lot of people on so many levels.
Yeah.
Because I think through grief and through pain, I think that some people who are very artistic create a lot of good things
Oh, yes,
Mhm.
on
ma'am.
that one. And so I know that it's been since your last release, your last
Mhm.
solo release was back in 2010
And yep.
on that one. And this now your New Better Days EP that's coming out. Is it already out?
It's already out. It
It's already
dropped
out.
August
Okay.
30th.
August 30th.
It's
Because like, I'm
wherever
a
you
little bit
wanna get.
behind just because I'm
Mhm.
I'm in Soul Shock. It's already September.
Right,
cool.
right.
On there.
Yeah, I believe you're in
It's-
development
right.
of a music video right now.
Oh yeah, just finished
So
a
I
music
wanted
video.
to kind of touch base and more into your EP. So Better Days came out August 30th.
Right.
So what are your next steps with this EP that you dropped? So you're saying a music video
I just did a music video. We spent 2 days shooting with and Joshua Tree.
okay.
With dancers and
Ooh.
myself, and it features Sadiq Sanderson, who plays Jizza on
The new Wu-Tang?
The new
Let's
Wu-Tang.
go.
Oh, Sadiq.
Yeah.
Dope.
which you guys got to
Yeah.
watch.
That's what
I've
you
been
guys gotta watch
deep
him.
in
Shout
it.
out to
Yeah,
Sadiq.
yeah.
He's the
You
shit.
got to have
Yeah.
Hulu though.
Oh.
No, it's on Hulu. It's
Yeah.
on Hulu
Oh, okay.
original.
I'm gonna snatch
So
somebody's
he's on
Hulu
there.
password.
McKenna Sloan. He's also choreographed. He's not
Okay.
just an actor. He's an amazing choreographer. So him and McKenna Sloan. It's directed by an amazing female director named Grace McCarthy.
Mm.
Just an amazing team of people all around.
Love this.
Jeremy Saint was the cinematographer. It was amazing. And so that's coming out for this song Love War.
Okay.
And that's going to be kind of the next
Next step.
step in this whole
Yeah.
journey.
I have to ask you a question with this EP. What do you find? What are your favorite songs that you did on there? Do you have
my
like a couple?
My favorite one for sure is Paris.
Okay.
It's the very last song. It's a bit of a slower kind of thing, but that song is just so specifically speaking about what we were talking about before. It's very specifically about my brothers and my son.
Okay.
You know, the first line in it is, sometimes I hope for better days, brothers passed away. It sounds much better when I sing it than I speak it, but
Ooh, I
you
hope
know, and
didn't
then I
sing
say to my son that I'll never leave you, my shooting star, you have my heart. So it's like, it's very straightforward and just put out there, not hiding behind, as a songwriter, a lot of times you might use elements of something that makes something a little bit ambiguous. That one is like just straight. I just can't, and I wrote that straight from my heart.
Yeah, from the
one
soul,
night.
just wrote
Straight
them
from
on
my
there.
heart. Even the vocals we used that ended up on there are literally like just me late at night by myself, holding a microphone. No, we didn't need the nice mics, didn't need anything. It just came out, and that's what's on there. So I love that one. There's another one on there called Love War, which we did the video for.
Okay.
These names are
which is-
everything.
Yeah. And the first one I love because my brother is on it. It's called Brightside. And it was maybe one of the last times my older brother, Ike Owens, who played with, he passed away, but he played with a big band called Mars Volta, and he played with Jack White and Sublime and Long Beach Double All Stars. And he is actually playing keyboards on that. So
Okay.
that's just, every time I hear that, it's like,
It's a little, it brings something back, some
Yeah.
memories back.
yeah, for
I
sure.
think that's awesome. And I want to say congrats for doing that.
Thank
And
you.
you had such a powerful team with you creating that video. And and this EP sounds, and I've heard a couple songs on there. It's just incredible.
Mhm.
Thank
And
you.
I think it's like everything that you needed to probably put out, you did.
Yes.
I felt like that. You know, it's funny because I was so, and at the time I had a manager and I was like, he was like, just put something out. Sometimes you have these people that you don't need to really have working with you. And they were just like, I was like, nah, it's not ready, man. This is like, it's very personal. He was like, all we need is content. I was like, nah, but it's personal to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Speak up for
And
yourself.
I wanted to put together a whole record. But at the end of the day, I was like, I do need like some of what he's saying is right. I do need to get some new stuff out there.
Mhm.
And these songs just made sense together. They told the story that I needed to tell at the time. And there are other ones that are gonna, you know, there's another story. The story continues, which is a good thing.
So on these extraordinary songs,
Uh-huh.
or you know, future songs that you plan to work on, do you see yourself collaborating with any artists, or have you collaborated with any artists on some of these beautiful songs? I know the one you said with your brother.
Yeah, I'm a brother,
Right
but I
side.
mean, I have a bunch of other people that I work with, so we'll see what happens. Like, you know, I've been in the studio working on a film score for. There's a new Issa Rae movie coming out, and one of my best friends whom I met when I was actually me, him, and my friend Terrace Martin, Robert Glasper. We all met when we were 16 at a jazz camp in Vail, Colorado. So we've been in the studio. I've been working with him. It's his score. He's creating it, but I play with him and I just do what I can, show up in the studio, and that's been amazing. So we're in the studio 4 days this week, and these are my best friends. So I have like all of these people that I've played with in the past that are like
just coming and
and it's
doing
more
the right
of
thing.
It's more of a thing. Well, we haven't. Some of them have touched the tracks. Some of them might. And you know, you never know what's gonna happen. That's the thing with studios and artistry, and it's like you just gotta show up and be there and be humble and be yourself.
Like
and like
Dave says, just show up.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to be a vibe in the room. Sometimes you need to be in the corner, and then sometimes, hey, you're about to record, so you never know.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate to have a lot of very amazing artists that are doing very well that I've known for a very long time in my corner. So the sky's the limit as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So I have another question about your EP and what you're doing currently. So do you have any other plans? Like, I know you're doing the music video and everything. Are you planning to do some shows? Are you going to do a light tour?
I
hitting
just
some
did my
states?
first show after, you know, at post release of the thing, and it was I'm from Long Beach.
Okay.
So the first show was in Long Beach, but it was my good friends that they in a band called the Free Nationals, Anderson Paak and the Free Nationals.
Okay.
They throw a night called Fight Club. Just did that. That was amazing. I'm doing another show on the 24th. This is also going to be in Orange County. It's at a place called the Continental. And then post that, I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do. There are definitely a couple things that are lining up. I can't speak of them quite yet, but I'm hoping that very soon I'll be
maybe coming out this area.
Oh, I know. I'm
cities
feeling the frequency.
and
I'm feeling that
different
frequency.
areas, you know?
Because I'm usually never in Orange County because I'm like,
Yeah, me neither.
I mean,
no, me neither.
Me neither.
But
They don't really have your type of bangers.
no, I mean,
Right.
they do some stuff, but I mean, I guess I'm just never in
Yeah,
Orange.
me-
I usually never am in Orange County. It's just not something.
I feel like if you're in Orange County, you're in Orange County.
Yeah.
But
it's not in my
there
radar.
is like I have
I'm
to
done.
I have to
It's
admit
true.
that is
I'm
being
done.
from Long Beach and from my brother's
Sorry,
scene.
Journey.
That is a part of where I came from at the same time.
You have to want to.
So, but there's a lot here, and you know, things. You'll see me out here.
Okay, so on that note, you said like there's some things coming up or whatever.
Mhm.
Like you definitely got to let us know where to follow you. Like,
Oh,
or
yeah.
let the people know, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you right now, people want to know. Like, I'm already thinking on the 24th, I'm gonna be out of the country,
Okay.
but I want to be able
you
to
going?
see you when I come back.
I'm saying because I could probably go. Like,
Yeah, okay.
He's
My
like,
passport.
he's
We
like,
can-
I always carry my
keep going.
passport.
he has a
Yes,
passport.
exactly.
Just because I
Keep
need
it
to split.
stamped. Keep it stamped.
No,
Keep it
but-
stamped.
So I want to know another question. I am filled with questions.
Mhm.
So I think since I feel like this is your year and you're doing a lot of things,
Mhm.
is there anybody currently or that you're maybe in the process of working with or in connections with that you want to be working with and put out some music or content with?
For myself or for other people?
With yourself personally, or if you're working with somebody that you want to put out content with on their
Well,
behalf.
I mean, so I
with them.
do. I have what I do, but I'm a very avid songwriter and
Mhm.
producer, and one of my favorite artists just released a record. I had her previous record called Phil's. I wrote a song for her name is Snow Allegra.
I know
And-
Snow Allegra.
Oh,
I
you know
love her
Snow?
music. Yes.
Okay, so I wrote. There's a song
I
called
love
Out,
Snow
Out of
Allegra's
Your Way
music.
on
It's a
that,
vibe. It's a
and
vibe.
she's just so. I love
She's
Snow.
She's so talented.
Yeah.
I want to say anybody who doesn't know Snow Allegra, I would go listen to it. Also, Selection
Mhm.
did a really good
she
special on her.
You look so familiar. I feel like we know each other.
I'm
But
Well,
anyways,
she
go
works.
ahead.
She's in talent
I've
with-
never done anything with Selection. There,
Okay.
I'm a huge, but
You're
somebody
out there
who
with
doesn't
music.
know So Allegra, one of the best. I would say Selection interviews was with her and Joe K. They did a great one. It was like a couple years ago, not like about a year or two ago. He did something with her and like played all of her music, like her entire album.
Mhm.
So Allegra is awesome. She's a talented singer, songwriter.
I gotta check her out.
So I would highly doubt if you don't know that whole go listen to her music or go listen to that Selection
for
on
sure.
that one.
For sure.
I know so Allegra. Anyways,
so
continue.
yeah, so Snow is amazing. And then just, the buddies that I've continued to be able to put out records with, like Terrace Martin, we get involved and we worked on Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly. Robert's stuff is amazing. We did a song called For Free with SZA with Robert. I forgot Robert played on that. Robert and Terrace.
Robert Glasper.
Robert Glasper.
Yeah.
And just a lot of different people, but my stuff goes all over the place too. I don't want to generalize it into just being like that sort of niche thing, because if you listen to my record, you'd be like, oh, he plays with Robert Glasper too, because it's so different. But I love working with all different kinds of artists.
But is there somebody in particular?
Someone in particular.
that you haven't worked with that you've been really wanting to?
Or even open up for.
Yeah.
Even open up
Yeah.
for. Man,
Like
I mean,
who?
We're not limiting the box.
Like who would you?
I'm
go on
seeing
tour
Lauren
with?
Hill on this
really?
sheet, man. I'm like,
Okay.
wow.
I
Okay, yeah.
actually worked
Say
with,
no more.
I worked with Lauren for a very long time.
Wow.
I love Lauren.
She's very passionate and deep.
Very
Depth.
passionate. I was her
Depth.
musical director for a while.
You
And
were.
recorded with her, and she's
Yes, you were. Okay,
she's
that's
misunderstood for sure.
Yeah.
I love Lauren.
Oh no, I
but
get her.
I would say, as far as artists that I would like to open up for, I like it when a bill is very eclectic. So it's like you're not seeing an artist that just looks like the baby artist of the artist that you're going to see.
Oh.
So
I
like,
could see you opening up for Blonde Redhead.
I could do Blonde Redhead. I could do
Like,
Beck. I could go Daniel
yeah.
Caesar. We could go anywhere.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like
that.
when I've got to listen to the whole EP and
That
actually
damn
dive into it
season.
sonically, it's like so fucking pleasing with everything. With like I love how you layered the drums and then the electronic aspect of it and even the vocal EQing that you were doing. I was like,
Mhm.
this shit's so eclectic. Like I could throw you on a tour in Canada and like everybody would love your shit right there.
I love
Like,
it.
you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like Blonde Redhead, like there was a group called the Luyas that opened up for them for like a tour with them in 2010.
Mhm.
And I got to see them for the first time at the Echoplex. But they were so eclectic. They had the French horn and these crazy sounds, even a Chapman stick bass, like going
Mhm.
all this shit. I was like, your sound is so like eclectic that you could do that. You could be on a rock lineup or a hip hop lineup or like, I mean, even if I feel you could be an open act for like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like,
Man, I feel like the
You know what I
music
mean?
is like,
so it
if it's
vibes.
anything, if I'm trying to present my best self as an
Mhm.
artist forward, like I've traveled a lot. I grew up in a fortunately a very cool family that embraced all different kinds of
Yeah.
things aside, obviously very much the Black culture, but all of
Yeah.
different kinds of things.
Made
And-
you
and
comfortable with it
made,
all.
made me
That's what my
comfortable
mom
with
did
it
too.
all. So like I feel like my music, it's not like a jack of all trades or anything
No,
like that,
it's-
but there's bits of stuff like that a lot
Yeah.
of people can identify with. It's not like straight pop music where it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I love
It's like
that,
you experience
but-
all these different genres during your age of growth of music, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
now you're just applying like
Right.
how would you say it? It's Journey, help me. It's called
we will be able to.
Ear candy. Like
Ear
you
Candy.
basically
That's his energy
like took a whole collection of ear candy that's personal to you and you applied it into your songs, and it's like I was like really like I got to hear like 2 tracks
Mhm.
like when I were hanging out
At my
and,
house,
and then when I heard the whole EP, I was like, yeah, I love the whole storyline and the interludes and everything because that's how I write my stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I was like, I could really relate to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. But yeah, who would you go on tour with? Who like maybe we could?
Who would I go on tour with?
Or who would you want to?
Who would
Like,
I want to? Man,
Yeah.
now, see, I was
First thing comes to your
trying to
mind.
say,
Don't
I
hold
was being
back.
prepared. I love Beck. I don't know if you
Beck
guys
is
know.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
I know
a
he's
huge-
always working.
He's a huge influence on me, and I would love to go on tour with him. I would also love to go on tour with. Let's see, there's another girl. A friend of mine, Twin Shadow.
Okay.
I don't know if you all know
Shadow,
him.
yeah.
George.
Yes.
He's a good buddy. I played with him for a bit. I don't know. Man,
I put you on the hot seat. I know. I always ask those weird
No, it's
questions.
cool. I
of
love
That's
like,
a good question.
who do you want?
I want to
do
go
some-
away and think about it. I want to figure this out.
Well,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
always welcome to come back. And I
That's what's
always
up.
tell people you're doing something that we love here and you're super passionate.
I just realized
Well, okay.
because I've been hitting him up. I was like, dude, who do you want? Are you guys familiar with Sun Little at all?
I feel like you've heard that
Yes.
name. Yeah.
Do you know
Who
Sun
is it?
Little?
For sure. Yeah.
That is my dog.
Yeah.
So I love not Snow. I love Snow too. But Sun, I played with Khalees for a while.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right
Wait,
after her.
Khalees, you
Yeah.
like her? Oh, okay,
Yeah. So right
that's
after her
family.
food record, I was working with her, and Sun Little was opening up, and I he was on our tour bus and stuff like that. We got to be friends, and I was like, hey man, let me just play bass because he was playing solo with tracks. I was like, let me just play bass on your sets, like no big deal, and we became very good friends.
Wow.
He's an amazing artist, doing pretty well right now,
Yeah.
and that's like we just like vibe. I would love to open up for him.
So see, there it is.
Yeah.
You put it out there. You put in the
Yeah.
energy.
I
And
love
he
It's
that
gonna
knows.
happen. He
I
knows
literally
it.
texted. I texted him not that long ago.
His energy is
I
like,
It's
texted
gonna be
him.
like, you know what? I need to open up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
We
dude,
need
I
to
was
make it.
like,
We'll make it's gonna happen.
Yes.
Well, he's probably listening in now.
So I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in the music industry for a while. You've done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you would want to tell any of your young followers or any kids that are diving in and experiencing music that you could give them advice? Because right now we live in a time where music is so exposed. We have DJs that are exposing kids to really a lot of things. Like
Yes.
music and art and like all the instruments are really making a revamp and giving kids a lot of more tools and utilizing with YouTube. Is there something that you would give to an aspiring person that's wanting to maybe do something similar to what you're doing?
I would say one of the biggest things that I was fortunate to be a part of, and something that like I feel like, we maybe we're a little bit lucky, but sort of definitely created, is having a community of your friends, like that you put together, like a collective. And that goes to not just music, it goes to anything you want to do in life, whether it be an actor. It's like, okay, don't wait for somebody to come down and give you the gig. But you start doing your own movies. That's what Spike Lee did. That's what all these other people did.
It's a
Like,
girl.
right.
It's a right.
It's right. Like
all her
literally
calls.
start doing it yourself, and like YouTube and like
We're
you're
doing
right.
that
I
now.
think you were saying something. What I got from what you were saying is like it's so accessible. Things are so easy. It's so easy for a kid to buy a beat on YouTube and just rap to it, which is
Right.
amazing. I love all that.
Right.
But know where it came from, and then figure out like how you can get your collective to like. Just, I mean, that whole idea of like a community and a collective is just like everything to
And
me.
it starts
I can't
building.
say
It starts
better.
building.
I
and when
can't
Yeah.
agree more.
yeah.
Especially for the youth.
'Cause
Great
I-
question. Great answer.
Because I know that kids are seeing how to create music and it's more accessible for children, especially who don't have those resources around them on there, because it's exposing. So I always want to be like, there are kids who are aspiring and want to do something that might not have all the resources. So I think it's really great to hear something from you and how your journey that you could give advice to on that end.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to throw something into what you were saying and with the school thing, letting them know that they have access to the resources if they are limited by starting with school. Like what he said,
And
with
then
connecting with friends,
Well,
go
maybe-
to the band room, go to whatever, and just start playing with music.
Well, he took an opportunity, like you were saying earlier, is that he went to a different school. He drove himself over 45 minutes to go and do something.
And
you know?
that's still not like, like that still like for a lot of people is not an option.
Right.
But I can guarantee you that art and music and people that know about music and people that, your friends,
Right in your local
dads,
school, I'm telling
uncle
you.
might play the bass. And you just like, if that's what you want to do, you can find it. Most of the best artists come from impoverished areas, in my opinion.
Oh, straight up.
That don't
I mean, are you
have
kidding me?
didn't have all of the like the piano lessons and the
Natural gift.
what-
it's
Natural
I think
gift.
I hate that it's being taken out of schools now, but the true art of it is from life,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
That's
still
where I
that that's
come in.
you can't
Yeah.
that's something you
So-
can't take away.
So that's awesome.
Mhm.
I like, but what kind of advice do you have for individuals that are currently producers or going through tragedy and trying to keep like their head above water? What do you like? You went through a lot of stuff, man, and
For
like
sure.
honestly, like you're still doing it and you're making moves, and your career is like I could see it going very far. But like, what advice do you have for artists that are like going through the shit, you know? And like,
I think and I may be misquoting this, and then maybe I'm just getting a little too philosophical with it, but I feel like it was the Dalai Lama that I read a quote from the other day that said, the only thing that you don't have control over is what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tomorrow, but you have control over today.
Your moment.
So, okay. All right. She
That's
feels
it.
me. You know what I'm saying? But that's so true. It's like, you can't control what happened yesterday, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you can prepare, you can heal, you can start to heal yourself from yesterday,
prepare for
or
tomorrow.
appreciate what happened yesterday, or start to prepare yourself for tomorrow. So it's just like, you got to keep your head up. You got to look up. You got to stay positive. You got to stay humble, and you got to keep learning. Yeah, I don't know. I guess my answers are not like, you know, it's not going to be like go to this website or learn Pro Tools or anything like that.
No,
It's just like,
we don't limit that here.
No.
We all have different perspectives,
Yeah.
but at the same time, our heart is the same.
yeah.
Go for it. Make
Yeah.
no apologies.
Yeah.
That's your experience.
Oh,
That's
I do
dope.
want to mention one other
Yes.
thing now because now you got me thinking about things that I want to do. There's another thing that I have, and I'm not even sure. So, and I've been kind of contacting these people.
I hope.
It's not a
And I'll be
show,
back.
but it's a video with these people. A company called Ethnic, and it's a skateboarding company that
Okay.
that specifically, not from what I can see, kind of sponsors, you know, people of color, minorities, and women. And they are killing it. And I love it. And I remember I grew up skateboarding. I never got good because I was like, I'm gonna play music, can't hurt this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here.
But I appreciate it. And I appreciate the art. I love
I'm
going to the
done.
skate park and just watching like
Me
kids
too.
and little girls killing it and like, you know, dudes. So I'm really trying to figure out some sort of video. I've been in talks with a couple directors and
Yeah, let us know,
idea
man.
people about doing something. But
So when you come out to Orange County, there's a skate park at the what is that
Don't
called?
even tell me
The
the high
Block.
Block.
The Block. It's a shopping center called the Block.
okay.
And then they have a van skate park that's up
Oh,
in
wow.
there, and
Okay.
all the kids are in
Are
there
there?
just getting
Okay.
crazy.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
So I'm gonna have to check
definitely
that out.
check it out.
I'm lucky enough I live in Highland Park right by a dope
Oh,
skate
dope
park
skate
too.
park.
I just
Oh,
walk down with my
okay.
dog with my Brooklyn and like just chill.
Yeah.
But I'll check that out though.
Yeah.
Journey
yeah,
lives in
you're out
Orange
there.
County.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He lives.
Yeah.
So,
Where do you
yeah.
live now? In Long? You don't
no,
live in Long Beach
not
anymore?
anymore. No, I'm in East Side LA, so like Highland
Oh,
Park.
Yeah, he
Okay.
gravitated to
Oh.
this side of town.
That's what Stone Throw is.
Yeah.
There. Their
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
yeah.
right there.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Oh, other person is Raphael Sadiq.
That's my
Okay.
That is
that's
like,
my baby.
You know what I mean? I think
Do you know
Okay,
Raphael?
Raphael,
Do I know him?
everybody.
Do you know?
so. I know so many people that know him, and I've met him
possibly
once.
doing
And I've the thing is, I've played with a million people,
Yeah.
and I'll just be straight up honest. Like he came to a show of mine, and he did not look like Raphael Sadiq, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, man, great bass playing."
Yeah.
And stuff. I was like, "Oh, cool, man. You
He's
play?"
like
I was
smaller.
like, I was like, "You play music and stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, man. I play as a producer a lot and stuff like that." I was like, "You play bass?" He was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
I was like, "Oh, Brandon, man." He's like, "Raphael Sadiq." I literally like
Wow.
fangirled over him. And I was just like, but you understand I love you? I don't know what came
I hate
out.
those fucking moments.
But he may not want
2020.
you know? Yeah, I was like, 2020. I was like, 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. I love you. Hugs and stuff like that. And he was a little bit, he was like, I think he might have been a little freaked out.
understand that?
Yo, Brandon, I can see you like
Understand?
2020,
Right.
Yeah.
like 50 Tonys, man.
Yeah, it was one of the moments because, like, literally, he's one of my favorite artists.
Y'all have me
man.
playing.
So
music.
And he's killing it right
Somebody
now,
that
man.
I grew up listening to, somebody who's like, and he's an amazing. I started off as a bass player. Where he's a songwriter. Like I identify with him. He's one of
Yeah.
my favorite bass players.
Yeah, he's why Solange won the Grammy
Oh,
last year.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And he's
Him and
music
Solange are
supervisor of Insecure
Yes.
with Issa Rae.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
doing a lot.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. I know maybe the next
Shout
time you
out
won't
to-
have like what you
See,
be like.
I didn't know
a little
that.
bit
So-
cooler.
No.
He's
He's
Yeah.
one of
going to the
homies.
studio tomorrow.
Shout out to
Let's-
Michael Austin,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is Mo Austin's son, which is Raphael's manager. Shout out to
Shout
him
out,
because
Michael.
he's the guy that put Raphael into film.
Hey, Mo.
Ooh.
As a
Yeah,
Brandon,
yeah.
Eugene Owens. As a
Call
you
that
just-
man.
Yeah, just
Shout out to the UK.
That too.
No, but seriously, man,
Yeah.
amazing artists. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah, everybody you name, like I'm like, if this is your real vibe, like I can't wait to just like listen to everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, that's how you roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. So we have a question that we usually ask for the people that come through, and you're a special person, man. Everybody knows your story now, but deep down within all this music stuff, what do you feel your superpower is?
Damn.
Like your reason. You play music, but your reason, and your superpower, and what you've been put on this earth to do.
I think, given
Sorry
what's
about that.
happened to me in my life and everything, I feel like my superpower, I wouldn't necessarily call it a superpower, but is just sort of to bring light and hope somehow. As I see myself and I see my family as me being the surviving member of my family, me and my mother who's older now, and I have my son, but it's just to sort of like project the energy of my family and continue it on.
I know.
I don't know what to say, not last man standing, but somehow it's innately in me that I have not just my ancestors going back years and years, but just like my ancestors and my brothers and my father, like on my shoulders, and I'm on their shoulders, but I feel the weight of them looking over me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
I have to project that.
Makes a lot of sense.
And make that heard. And the best way I can do that is I'm an artist, so I'm going to write songs and I'm going to put it into my art.
So I got to ask you,
Yo.
chain,
Oh,
the
man.
necklace.
I've
Explain.
sang it all night. I mean,
This was given to me. It started when my father passed.
Okay.
So what's not on here is there was a fingerprint that my brother's girlfriend gave us all, brother. Like my brother's my mother.
Yeah.
And it started with that. So as soon as my father passed away, I was wearing this necklace with just the fingerprint on it. And then it became something that was like, within a couple months, a friend gave me this first brass knot, which she made for me. And it's just a bunch of different things that people have like, that, it's not like I just take anything, but it means something to me. And I wear it every day.
Wow.
I take it off when I go to sleep, when I take a shower.
Wow.
And I've lost it. I've lost it one time.
Oh man.
And it came back to me. I lost it at TSA flying to Nashville on an overnight flight.
Wow.
Got there, woke up, was like, where's my chain? And it was like, who emails TSA? I emailed TSA. And 2 months later, I get an email back saying, hey, we've you see this. Somebody normally would have just taken it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's powerful. I consider it, my people ask me what it is.
Own it.
It's my power.
Own it. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Every
Awesome.
superhero has to have something tied to their costume, right, Journey?
Yes.
My favorite
This
part.
is definitely
This
part
is
of my
it.
That's
costume.
your S.
All
That's
right.
your S.
All right. There you have it. Let's give it up for Brandon Eugene Owens.
Thank you so much
Thank
for having me.
you.
Thank you so much. You're a light, man. You're a light.
And Brandon, we definitely have to have you back, especially when you're going to be starting to getting more of your stuff out and getting some shows and you're putting out more content. Definitely come back. We want to have you back anytime.
We can come back and blow it up.
Yeah, I'm
blow
your
it
new-
up.
Please.
And
Maybe
Brandon,
we'll bring something in here.
Brandon,
Please.
I'm your
Have
new
a live
groupie.
thing.
No, I'm your new
Hello.
groupie. I want to be around you all the time.
I love it.
Because you're so talented.
You
if
have
you
good,
don't
and everybody
mind.
here has good energy. It's
Thank
amazing.
you.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's
Thank
like
you.
so much positive
You know,
I
energy.
know you wanted
It
to
is.
add
And
me.
here, and I love
I
it.
would feel included.
We're some bad.
She's like, it's just me.
It's really me. He just wants y'all to not feel left out.
We're all
That's
some.
love.
We're all badass people in here,
Love
in
it.
some facet.
That-
Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. You heard it here first. We are out.